So what do you think about this thing that people always say you can use only 10%, human beings can use only 10% of their brains? Is that true?
Okay, that's something fascinating that
Right.
I recently found out.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I myself, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Not until after I read the book of Limitless by Jim Wick, which
Yeah.
most of these lies are in the book.
Yes.
And he mainly explains, there's a movie called Lucy. It was released in 2014. And they mainly explained of this lady who was, she was an emo lady, drug trafficking drugs.
Yes.
And all of a sudden she takes this pill and she has extreme powers that not any human being can have. She can move at extreme fast speed. She can move at even the speed of light. And that was it. And in that movie, the concept was, what if we only use 10% of our brain? And this is something that I also brought up back then in my high school. That was 2014 when I watched the movie. You get to understand, oh, that means I can also move fast. I can be, because you've watched a lot of these superhero movies. So you think maybe, I think my brain is not working at 100% efficiency. But then over time, when you try to, because according to research, it shows that every person uses 100% of their brain. Just that we have different capacities on how we execute or we use our brain. That's where the difference comes in. Same applies into how you see bodies. People were able to use their bodies for gymnastics and do all these different activities. They're putting the effort and time to learn all these things.
Yeah.
It's not that you cannot, it's just that you haven't put in the time and effort to do that. So also same applies to your brain. If you're going to read something and you're not able to comprehend it at that very moment, it's not that you cannot, it's just that you haven't learned yet how to do that.
Yes.
And that's how the concept of using 10% at some point is also a limit. You may think you're not using your brain to 100%, to 10%, but then it's always working at time. Every part of your brain is always working.
True.
Yeah.
True. So we should actually go out there and make sure you use what you have, develop
effectively
who you
and
are.
efficiently.
Yes, and then you're using 100%. People don't think that you're using just 10% or 1% or just 2% of your whole life, of your whole brain. Guys, you can do it. You can use 100% of your brain. Now the next thing is knowledge is power. I've always believed knowledge is power. Like if you know, you have power.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that? Is it a lie? Is it true? Is it false? Tell us.
What this is also some exciting lie that we also get to find out, and it becomes absolute, especially in our current world. It shows that you get to realize that in our current generation we have access to information more than any humankind that has ever lived before us. We every day we live with phones. These are the fastest computers that any person can have, and we have access to all these different types of information. And then, so you get to understand. I may give you an example. I have over 100 books on my shelves that I need to read. So after reading them and I do not execute, does that knowledge, does that knowledge equate to power?
No.
Yeah, so you also get to realize that knowledge is not power, but execution of the knowledge that you have is one that makes it to have the power.
Guys, have you heard that? Knowledge is not power. It is execution of that knowledge that you have. Yes, thank you, Emmanuel.